Hello, Create Schools. Today we are going to look at time for war. It is finally time for the international peace to break down in 1939. And let's see what the straw that broke the camel's back was. The thing that finally made Britain and France take a stand. Okay, go ahead and get your paper and pen out and take these notes down. Okay, well, before we actually do that, we're going to look at the consequences and the failures of the League of Nations, which should be a really quick review for you. Manchuria and Abyssinia had proved that the League of Nations was ineffective, so Hitler was confident and started his 5 steps to war. And in about 2 slides, you'll see those 5 steps to war. So just write that down now, and you'll get that explained in a little bit. And also, when Hitler wasn't able to get an agreement with his disarmament conference and he pulled out of the League of Nations, he prepared himself for war. So here we've got our political cartoon on the throne of justice. That is Lady Liberty standing over there with her law scales, and she's looking at the International Law and Order Court, and she's seeing the 3 monkeys: see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, and she's a little scared. Okay, pause the video and take these notes down, and we'll go on to the next slide. So the invasion of Poland in 1939, Hitler felt very secure that if he went and took Poland to get more Lebensraum for his German folk, for his Herrenvolk, then he would, it would not be a problem, that Britain and France would just appease him like always. And let's just say they weren't going to appease him. They're so far away, it would take them a while to get to him and invade anyway. So he said he's just not going to worry about it. He's just going to do it. He's safe from the Soviets with his Nazi-Soviet pact, and Germany went ahead and invaded Poland. But finally, Britain and France had decided that Hitler had gone too far. He had agreed that he was not going to do anything after Czechoslovakia, after taking over the Sudetenland. But when he signed the Nazi-Soviet pact with the Soviets, then they really went on alert and said, okay, we don't believe that he's going to actually stop with the Sudetenland. We better jump in and save Poland. Okay, go ahead and pause the video here and take these notes down, and I'll go on to the next page. So here we get to his 5 steps of war. How far was Hitler's foreign policy to blame for the outbreak of war? Well, basically, if you remember in Rods, he is looking for more Lebensraum. He was looking for Große Deutschland. And he was basically wanting to overturn the Treaty of Versailles. And so Hitler took these 5 steps of war, and we've already gone over each one of them, so I will just read them slowly and allow you to think about them. So please, when you write each down, think about whether you know what it is or not, and then go back to your notes and take a look if you don't. So when Hitler had started rearming in 1933, and really rearmed after he left the League of Nations. He sent troops into the Rhineland in 1936 and went over the demilitarized zone, remilitarized the demilitarized zone. He had Anschluss in Austria in 1938. And then the Sudetenland, he got it through the Munich Agreement, and then later took over Czechoslovakia. And then he signed the Nazi-Soviet Pact in 1939, which allowed him to invade Poland. So basically, Hitler was only able to achieve these goals through his aggression, but also because of appeasement. And appeasement will be the next video, so you'll finally get to hear all about that. But Hitler was not the only reason. So if Hitler was there, but these other things didn't happen, everything would have gone totally different. The League of Nations basically was a huge failure. The Allies, they had appeasement. If they wouldn't have stopped, if they would have just stopped appeasing him or not appease him to begin with. And then the Great Depression, the stock market crash in the United States. So here we've got a Dr. Zeus political cartoon. It says, ho hum, when he's finished pecking down the last tree, he'll quite likely be tired. Notice that last tree is England in Poland. So he's basically just coming through and taking over everything. Okay, pause the video if you haven't already done so and copy those down. We'll move on to the next slide. So this is our last slide. Why did Britain and France finally declare war? Basically, this again should be everything you already know, just kind of summed up to really let you think about what actually did it. So after Poland, 2 days after Germany attacked Poland, they said, okay, no more, and they decided to go to war because they were really worried that Hitler was just going to keep going. The question is, when should we stop? Well, this is time to stop. They had, he'd already annexed with Austria. He already has the Sudetenland, and they were just, what else is he going to continue taking with his getting his Herrenvolk, getting the Grosser Deutschland? What else is he going to do? So, but again, it wasn't just Hitler's fault. It was other countries as well. And let's go back to this appeasement, and this will be the last slide before you get your appeasement video, and we'll really discuss appeasement and see how it led to war. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know.